Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the Career Pack Podcast. My name is Neil Patel. I'm the host of this beautiful podcast that I've been doing now for 43 days. Today, I want to talk about something that's kind of unsolicited and something that you guys don't have to listen to. Just a quick disclaimer before I even get into anything. This is just my opinion, and this is coming from someone who's been in a committed, healthy 5-year relationship, and it marks the 5-year day today. I've been with someone for 5 years, and I want to talk about the best piece of relationship advice that I've ever gotten, that I've ever learned, and the number one thing that I always tell others when being in a relationship. The first foundational thing to understand about a relationship is that a healthy relationship is going to be 10 times harder and 10 times harder to understand and navigate and work through things than a toxic one. A toxic relationship, you don't feel the need to change. You don't have a necessity to change into someone who's better, more understanding, more patient, more kind, has more wisdom, is mature. And I think that's why a lot of young people just like to have fun in their teens, 20s, 30s, even. And I'm not against that at all. I actually think that's a great way to experiment and figure out what you like and what you want. Even as someone who's still trying to figure themselves out, and there's like still certain things that I don't know exactly what I want in a relationship, but I think that's the beauty in trying to navigate a healthy one because you get to like understand, okay, what is this person like? What do they want from me? What do they care about? What are the things that they don't like and the things that I shouldn't do or I shouldn't prioritize? And all of these little lessons that you learn along the way, they craft this relationship that you have with this person into either something that's beautiful or either something in like something that's horrible or sucks away your energy. So the number one piece of relationship advice that I would ever give to anyone is if you are with someone who is kind and someone that you respect, like genuinely someone who is kind, who treats others the way that they want to be treated, they are empathetic and nice to anyone and everyone that they are around. And I'm not talking about the type of person who's just like nice all the times. Like, yes, you have to understand like boundaries and when to not take stuff or shit from someone. That's understandable. But someone who is just cognizant, aware of their surroundings, the people they're with, what they say, how they say it, the type of relationships that they have, that all comes from someone who is just kind. And whether that's strangers, whether that's romantic relationships, friendships, family, cousins, distant family, it all falls under the same category. So really ask yourself, as a person that you're with or that you want to be with, are they kind? Again, this is what I ask myself. And the second thing is this someone that I respect for the type of life that they live, the type of life that they want to live, their aspirations, what they see themselves doing? How do they carry themselves? What are some of the things that really get me impressed about this person? It's genuinely that simple. All of the intrusive thoughts or negative thoughts that I do have about my relationship sometimes, and again, everyone is going to have that where they have like doubts and downtimes and negative ups and downs with any relationship. That's the thing that I always come back to and I ask myself, is this person still kind to me? Is this person still kind to my family, my friends, and the people I care about? Are they still someone that I respect? Are they on the right trajectory? Are they doing the thing in life that they are passionate about, the thing that they care about? Are they not sacrificing what they care about for me? Like, are they continuing to pursue what they want at all costs? And if the answer to both of those things are yes, for me, I'm going to continue to love them and show up for them and be patient with them and share my life with this person. Because eventually, when you are in a long term relationship, it turns into more of a very, very healthy friendship with moments of like deep intimacy and connection rather than it being like lovey dovey all the time. And I talked about this a couple podcasts ago about relationships. I think it was episode 236. I might be mistaken, but regardless, there is a deep understanding process that goes into a long-term relationship. All the stuff that we see on social media, and I'm horrible at this too, is sometimes I create like these false scenarios and things that aren't true in my brain to either tarnish the way I see myself or the way I see my relationship. But in reality, that's just not how it is. And oftentimes I think people have this misconception that when something feels boring, it's actually a sign of like what if it's just peaceful? What if it's like just a sign that you are in a good space, they are in a good space, and both of you together just enjoy each other's presence. And that might be a little bit of a hot take because, of course, you don't want things to be like boring all the time. You want to have moments of connection, intimacy, and doing fun things together. But oftentimes I see people like, oh, yeah, this relationship is just like boring. I'm going to leave. Or, yeah, oh, it's this. I'm just going to leave. And that's because healthy relationships, like I said earlier, they take a lot of work. They take patience. They take listening and understanding that, okay, this person, they're going through this thing. I'm going through this thing. What can I do to make myself better? What can they do to make themselves better? Do they want me to just like comfort them? Do they want an actual solution? Like what is it do they need right now? And it all also comes down to communication, which is another big thing obviously in any good relationships, like communicating your feelings and how you feel about certain things, which is all stuff that I'm not perfect at. It's things that I'm still trying to learn because her and I were both still young. It's a long learning process. Relationships are the hardest thing that anyone will ever go through, and that's why there's a 55% divorce rate in the United States, because these things are hard. And even all the things that my partner and I are going through now, or I mean the type of life that we live right now, it's one that doesn't have high level of responsibility. It doesn't have kids involved. It doesn't have like finances, mortgages, all those things. It's not involved, right? But throughout that entire process, coming back full circle to my piece of advice, throughout that entire process, if you just learn to be with someone who is kind, and do you still respect them? If the answer is undoubtedly yes, then stick it out. And I don't know why that's so hard for like a lot of people to like understand, because they want this perfect person, or they want them to have this thing, they want them to have that thing. And most people just be like, oh, but that's just what I want, this is what I'm worth, and I know exactly what I want. And I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, you're not going to find someone who's like perfect and is going to check off every single box, because nothing is ever going to be perfect. Because if it was, then why is there such a high divorce rate? Why are there so many relationships that do fall apart, even though they may seem great? I don't ever like to put any guarantees on anything. However, what I like to do is just like live in the present and understand the reality of what the moment brings. We all have problems. You guys have problems in your relationships, whether it's romantic, family, friendships, and I do as well. But the power in it is learning how to navigate it. And you want to have 1 to 3, maybe 5 solid pieces of information and wisdom within your brain that can help you navigate any situation at any time. And all of that comes with like years of learning to be with different people. But also, if you do get in like a healthy relationship ever, there are certain questions that we must continue to ask ourselves, even though they may be scary, even though they may seem like you're afraid to talk about it. Like, it's important. A relationship will never be unhealthy if you are just like honest all the time about like how you feel. If you're just constantly honest about how you feel at all moments in time, it's very hard for it to turn unhealthy. And I keep that at the forefront of my brain every time. Like if there's times where, I just want to like sit down and work and get my stuff done, and she calls and I'm like, hey, like I just want to work right now. I don't really want to talk. She'll be like, okay, cool. Like I'm just gonna hang out here. But then there's other times where like I want to speak to her, and like she's doing her thing and she'll give me the same exact response. And that's something that we've had to like work through, because that's not something that's just like happened right away. In the beginning of my relationship, I would like get really upset. And there's still moments now where I get frustrated, where I want attention or she wants attention. Either one of us is not giving each other what we want. And we have to like work it through. We have to talk it through. Or sometimes we would just like get away from each other for a little bit, like disconnect. You do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. We'll call each other later. We're in a better headspace. It's just so much. And I wish I could put into words everything that goes into a good relationship and a healthy relationship. But like I said, that's the most important thing. Are you with someone that you respect, and are they kind? These are just the boundaries and pillars that I've set for myself in my relationship, and it's a thing that has helped us be together with one another for 5 years. And I feel like every single day we build a little bit more of a deeper connection, and that's all that I've ever been really looking for in my life. And most importantly, she supports me. All right, I'm not about to sit here and break down crying. So that's all for this episode. I hope you guys took something away from this. So if you are in a relationship, or if you're looking to get into one, maybe this helps. You guys can take this information and run with it in whatever way you guys would like. But these are just my little nuggets of what's worked for me and my partner. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, feel free to share this with a friend. Follow me on socials at the Career Pack Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, everywhere. All the links to those things will be in the description of the pod. And like I always say, my people, take care. Tell someone that you love them and go do something nice for someone today because they genuinely, genuinely deserve it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.